The story begins with a man walking down the street carrying two suitcases. In his left hand is a case filled with anti-bomb equipment, and in his right is a portable time machine. From this alone, it is clear that he is a time-traveling agent on a mission to stop a bombing. When he arrives at the machine room, his target location, he is suddenly confronted by a mysterious man. The encounter quickly turns into a brief shootout between the two. After managing to drive the stranger away, the agent immediately activates his device, but he is too late. The bomb detonates, leaving his face severely burned. At that exact moment, the mysterious man appears again. This time, he is not there to attack. Instead, he brings the time device closer, allowing the agent to return to his original timeline. And in that moment, his fate begins to loop back on itself. This is predestination.
What if I could put him in front of you? Would you kill him?
A few days after returning home, the agent is still undergoing treatment when two officials from his organization visit him. They present him with a medal in recognition of his sacrifice, and at the same time assign him one final mission before retirement. This mission is to track down a sociopath and terrorist known as Fizzle Bomber. Back in the 1970s, this man carried out a series of bombings, living up to his name. At the peak of his crimes, he caused an explosion in New York in 1975 that killed around 10,000 people. The agent's task is to travel to that time and conduct a thorough investigation to prevent the attack from ever happening. Because of the severity of his burns, the doctor performs a major operation that completely changes his appearance. He is also warned about the side effects of repeated time travel, including cell mutations, nerve disorders, memory loss, depression, hormonal changes, and even changes in voice. Despite all of this, the agent has no other choice. This is the only life he knows. After recovering with a new face, he is equipped with everything he needs for the mission, including a watch, a firearm for protection, and of course, a portable time machine. Now he finds himself on November 6, 1970, working undercover as a bartender to gather information about Fizzle Bomber. But instead of quickly finding a lead, he meets a man named John, a writer whose book the agent had recently read. After spending some time talking, the two grow close. Eventually, John opens up about his past, a story that is both shocking and deeply personal. He reveals that he was once a biological woman who later became the man he is today, and he is willing to share the full story. Like many tragic beginnings, John was abandoned as a child and left at an orphanage. No one knows why he was abandoned, but there was something unusual about him. As a child, he was never sick, not even once, which set him apart from the other children. Since the caretakers did not know his real name, they gave him the name Jane. As Jane grew up, her uniqueness became even more apparent. She was the smartest student in school and physically stronger than everyone else, even the boys.
I was tough, much stronger than any of the other kids, even the boys.
While the other children were eventually adopted, Jane was left behind, becoming the only one from her group who remained in the orphanage. One day, something unexpected happens. Jane is approached by someone who wants to adopt her, but not from a typical family. Instead, the offer comes from a secret government organization represented by a man named Mr. Robertson. He explains that he is impressed by Jane's intelligence and toughness and wants her to join their program. For months, Jane undergoes intense physical and mental training, supposedly to become an astronaut and explore outer space. Once again, she stands out, earning the highest scores in every subject, but everything falls apart because of her temper. After attacking another candidate who constantly mocked her, Jane is expelled from the program. Even so, Mr. Robertson promises he will try to convince the board to take her back. After being kicked out, Jane struggles to survive. She takes on any job she can find, working as a house assistant, a caregiver, anything just to get by. At the same time, she realizes how important her future is, so she enrolls in a university and attends night classes. That decision leads her to meet a man who is handsome, wealthy, and incredibly charming, though his face is never clearly seen. As time passes, the two grow close and eventually start a relationship. But one night, while they are sitting together in a park, the man suddenly excuses himself for a moment. And just like that, he disappears, never to return. Not long after her mysterious lover vanishes, Mr. Robertson appears again with another offer. This time, he finally reveals the truth. The organization is not focused on space exploration at all. Their real purpose is far greater. They are exploring time itself. and Jane meets all the requirements to become a time-traveling agent. She has no family ties, no attachments, and she possesses both intelligence and resilience. Just when Jane begins to feel hopeful again, everything changes. She discovers that she is pregnant from her relationship with the mysterious man, forcing Mr. Robertson to withdraw his offer. After giving birth, Jane receives shocking news from the doctor. It is not about her baby, but about her own body. She is revealed to have both male and female reproductive organs. Because of complications with her uterus, the doctors are forced to remove her female organs. From that moment on, Jane is biologically male. But her suffering does not end there. Her newborn baby is suddenly kidnapped from the hospital by an unknown person. With everything she has lost and endured, Jane makes the decision to fully live as a man. She continues working, eventually finding a job at a restaurant where she is seen as male. Later, she decides to become a writer and changes her name to John, the person we now know. After finishing his story, the agent finally reveals the truth about himself. He is a time-traveling agent working under Mr. Robertson. Realizing that John has the potential to become someone like him, the agent takes him to a warehouse and shows him the time machine. Then he does something even more unbelievable. He brings John back to the year 1963, to a time when he was still Jane, still living as a woman and attending university. The reason for this is simple. The agent wants to help John take revenge on the mysterious lover, the man who first appeared at that university. In exchange for this help, John must agree to assist the agent in tracking down his target, the infamous Fizzle Bomber, once his personal mission is complete. Dressed like a mafia figure, John heads straight to the university, waiting for his mysterious lover to appear. But instead of finding the person he has been searching for, he comes face to face with his own past self, back when he was still Jane. And in a shocking realization, it becomes clear that the mysterious lover he has been chasing all this time is actually himself. The agent is just as stunned by this truth. He quickly realizes that the plan has completely fallen apart and has created a dangerous paradox. Without permission, he decides to walk away, leaving John behind and choosing to focus on his mission to capture Fizzle Bomber on his own. Back in the same machine room from the opening, the agent finally arrives at the right moment, just as Fizzle Bomber is setting up the bomb. A fight breaks out, both with gunfire and hand-to-hand combat. But in the end, the agent is overpowered and loses consciousness. When he wakes up, Fizzle Bomber is already gone. Instead, he finds something far more disturbing. He sees himself, badly burned, just like in the beginning. And then the truth hits him. The person who saved his life by bringing the time device closer was none other than himself. After failing to capture Fizzle Bomber, but managing to save his own life, the agent travels to the year 1964. This is 1 year after John had a relationship with his past self and fathered the baby that is now in the hospital. There he meets Mr. Robertson once again. Mr. Robertson realizes that the agent has violated the rules by making unauthorized time jumps, something that could disrupt the entire timeline. To preserve history, he orders the agent to eliminate the baby, and just like that, the mystery is solved. The one who kidnapped John's baby from the hospital was the agent himself. Unable to bring himself to kill the child, he makes a different choice. He travels back 20 years to 1945 and leaves the baby at an unnamed orphanage. This reveals the full extent of the paradox. Jane, John, and the baby are all the same person. At once, they are the mother, the father, and the child, all existing within the same looping timeline. After dealing with the baby, the agent returns to 1963 to pick up John. That night turns out to be the last time Jane ever sees her mysterious lover. His disappearance was never about running away or choosing someone else. He simply had to return to his own time and continue his life along the proper timeline. Instead of sending John back to his original life, the agent brings Jane to the organization and hands her over to Mr. Robertson, setting her up to become his successor. As for the agent, he chooses to retire, traveling to the year 1975 to live out the rest of his life. After spending some time enjoying his retirement, the agent still cannot let go of his curiosity about Fizzle Bomber, who is known to be living in that same year. After months of conducting his own investigation outside the organization, he finally manages to track down the bomber's location and heads there to see him for himself. What he discovers is beyond shocking. The man he has been hunting all this time turns out to be himself, just much older. It is then revealed why Fizzle Bomber carried out all those bombings. His actions were driven by a belief that he was saving thousands of innocent lives in the future. The people he targeted were individuals who would later commit terrible crimes, crimes that would claim far more lives. He admits that some innocent people were caught in the blasts, but he sees it as a necessary sacrifice, one that he believes is justified by the millions of lives he would ultimately save. Technically, Fizzlebomber is the agent's future self, but when the agent learns that this version of himself has killed Mr. Robertson and wiped out the entire organization, he is filled with anger and refuses to accept it. Even though he is facing his own future, the agent chooses to kill him. In doing so, he unknowingly locks himself into an endless time loop, failing to break the cycle once and for all. That is when he remembers the doctor's warning about the side effects of time travel, especially memory loss. And then comes the most mind-blowing realization of all. The agent is John, he is Jane, he is the baby, and he is also Fizzlebomber. All of them are the same person. Because of his deteriorating memory, the agent can no longer recognize his own past, not even his own face. The face he has now is the result of surgery after the explosion in the machine room. And in a strange and almost tragic way, every event, every conflict, and every twist in this story was created by him alone. In fact, nearly every major character we have seen throughout the story is actually the same person, caught in a loop with no beginning and no end. So the moral of the story is don't mess with time, or you might end up dating, chasing, and ruining your own life all at once.